Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Perlin Brewer, and I will be your host. Today's podcast guest is Craig Whitehead, President and CEO of Safety Services Nova Scotia. Welcome, Craig. Good to see you again.
And you too.
Today's topic is the annual New Brunswick Nova Scotia Safety Services Health and Safety Conference, which this year will be held again in Halifax from March the 20th to 22nd at the Westin Nova Scotia Hotel. And certainly, Craig, it's a tremendous opportunity to hear a variety of health and safety professionals. But, I think sometimes the more important part is the networking opportunities, the opportunities to meet with other health and safety professionals, to get caught up on what's going on in different industries. It's a good event for a variety of reasons.
No, absolutely. And there's plenty of opportunity for that to happen, Pearly, with regards to breakout sessions, the lunch opportunities, the social events that go on. And this year we're expecting in the region of about 520 attendees overall. And with early indications already, we are starting to see about 50% of the actual conference being sold out. So if anybody's thinking of wanting to expand on that collaboration opportunity, then what we're saying at this point in time is to book early, because there's going to be plenty of opportunities for safety professionals to be in amongst other organizations who have the same passion for health and safety.
Now, you have a couple of great keynote speakers lined up for this year's conference. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those guys?
Yeah, we think long and hard every year about bringing in some key relevant speakers to open on the first day as well as the second day. And this year is no exception. We have Eric Tremunde, who is opening for us on the Thursday morning, and he brings a certain energy and passion for delivering health and safety topics or keynote speeches to organizations and audiences like the Atlantic Workplace Health and Safety Conference. So really excited to see and hear what Eric's got to say, and that'll be a great start for what we think the opportunity for setting the stage, if you like, in terms of getting everybody motivated and excited for the conference. And then on the second day, we have Spencer Beach. Spencer's going to be talking about real-life workplace injury. He's also going to be discussing the impacts of the long-term impacts, of what workplace injuries can affect. But it also reminds us the reasons why we're there, and that's a story that's certainly going to be touching the hearts of a lot of people. And but like I said, safety professionals are going to be there, and it's not just about prevention. It's actually about understanding what can happen if we don't do the right thing. And Spencer's certainly going to bring that to the table on the Friday.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to hear Spencer speak in person last year, and then we featured him on one of our podcasts. And I tell you, his story is so incredible. If you went to the conference for no other reason than to hear Spencer, it's certainly more than worthwhile. He also, by the way, has a book that he will have available at the conference. And if you get a chance, pick up a copy of the book. It's a tremendous read, and it talks, of course, in more detail about what he has gone through. And I'll tell you, what an inspirational message. And I was looking up Eric a few minutes ago, and he certainly is very well known across Canada, and a very good keynote speaker. So you have two dandies lined up there. Now, what about actual topics and speakers other than those two? What kind of topics are popular?
Well, this year we're finding that we've had to expand the actual program because of the demand. Last year we had a really good turnout in the region of 350 to 360 delegates. Early indications are that we've had to create an expanded program, and as a result, we've actually managed to secure 36 speakers for the 2-day conference event.
Wow!
And those range from they range from health and wellness to safety committee, safety professionals, technical legislation, and also the future of what OH&S looks like. And I think we've tried to create a balance of traditional subjects, but also subjects that are relevant, timely, and we've also thrown in there a few that are really current in terms of what's actually happening in the workplace today, and hot topics for the future. So I think there's a really good range there of what people have the opportunity to plan for and attend, with, as I say, about 36 different speakers. So a good variety for options there for people.
So the actual opening time as far as registration and so on, that's on the 20th. That's on, I guess it would be Wednesday night.
Yeah, so
when folks can register.
Yeah, so you can actually register up until the day if there's availability. But as I mentioned earlier, the problem we may be facing is, well, we may end up have to turn people away. So it's important that people register as soon as they can. If they know they're definitely going, or they've got a schedule to go to the conference, then don't wait, because we don't want to be in a position to make people not be able to actually attend the conference, because the demand is extremely high this year. Hence why we've had to expand the program. And as we mentioned earlier, the keynotes are sector leading, in my opinion, and that just represents the level at which we see this Atlantic conference looking like in 2024.
And of course, folks are always interested in social events. You had a fantastic I should say, a kitchen party lined up last year. What do you have lined up this year?
Yeah, well, if you think last year was good, Pearl, you need to be at this one, because we've extended the size of the room this year based on public demand. And what we're actually doing is bringing back the band that was a big hit last year. That it's now called the Mike Lloyd Band, but they're ultimately the same company. And we're ensuring that people have an opportunity to collaborate, listen to some good music. There'll be a small buffet there for them. There'll be a cash bar and certainly an opportunity to get their dancing feet on if that's what they want.
Now, what about exhibitors? How many would you have lined up for this year? Any idea yet?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, we're actually sold out on exhibits, which is really encouraging. And we actually have about 26 firmed up. So there'll be a great opportunity for attendees of the conference to experience a range of different products and services out there that of different organizations have put their time in, and they'll be there for the 2 days. So great opportunity to collaborate and, as I said, just to see what further opportunities may interest them. So.
Now, I've been going to health and safety conferences for a number of years now, but one thing I noticed last year when I walked around your exhibit area, there's a different type of exhibitor now to what there might have been 10 or 20 years ago. 10 or 20 years ago, you saw a lot of technical exhibits around things like confined space and fall protection and so on. But starting to see, I noticed a lot more last year around more modern topics, you might say, like wellness in the workplace and so on. Have you noticed that kind of change?
Yeah, and I think that's no different this year. I think, when we look at the exhibitor list, it's certainly showing areas that a lot of people may have not heard about or seen before, because there's a heavy flavour of the future of OH&S, and we talked about that earlier. But some of the products there, traditionalists like maybe you and I, Pearlie, wouldn't necessarily have seen before. And I think that's an example of what I'm saying is the products that are coming through the market these days are so advanced and technologically focused on the future that it takes a certain type of understanding and flexibility with how we do business, if you like, and how we do things to adapt to what we keep hearing is the new world. And the technological showcases that will be there on the day will certainly help people to get a better understanding of what's out there and really stir the opportunities, I think, for industries to start thinking outside the box about what is available to them rather than follow the traditional route of how we do business. You know what I mean?
The other thing I've seen over the last years, I've been doing these podcasts, we're coming across more and more new people getting into the health and safety profession. And that's where when I see conferences like yours, last year I know there was some education institutions there that offer diploma programs and so on in health and safety. Combine that with some of the topics you have. It's a great learning event for all those new people that sort of want to get caught up and want to learn more about health and safety.
Yeah, and I'm certainly an ambassador for that, because I come from an industry of teaching. When I used to live in the UK, it was very much running my own company for 20 years and then went into education where I used to deliver training to the construction sector. And to see students coming from community colleges, which are supported by our presenting sponsors, it's really humble to see that. But not only that, the actual professionalism that they present when they do come to the conferences, that really shows employers that, where the industry's at, and how confident they should feel in the actual opportunities that, recruiting a graduate would bring. So I think there's certainly an opportunity for students to showcase their professionalism and also showcase how things are changing, because the way teaching is delivered these days is certainly different than it was maybe 20 years ago. And adapting to the times, adapting to the different technologies is where the community learning roots are. And I think for employees to embrace that is something they're going to have to take very seriously, because we are in a changing world, and these are they are the future of OH&S. And I think it's a great opportunity for students to certainly see, participate, speak, and also collaborate. And I think we're fully behind that 100%.
And of course, a big consideration always when one starts to look at registering for any conference is location, a great hotel location, plus City of Halifax, for folks that have a little time either before or after the conference. Lots to do in Halifax.
Absolutely. And we all know when we hear the stories that Halifax is an increasingly expanding city. And for those who are coming from outside of the province, it's certainly something to not only just come for the conference, but certainly come towards supporting the local communities. And the waterfront is always changing, and the opportunities for different locations for eating, socializing is in abundance. And I think, people can certainly make a week of it if that's what they wanted to do. But plenty of hotels available. And we do have a special rate at the Westin at the moment. It's running out very quickly. So for those who want to have a full stay on site, then people need to book quick, because the Westin is certainly no different to the demand in Halifax at the minute. And we're seeing that the hotel rooms are booking up pretty quick. So I would recommend for those who are planning on staying, then to book early.
So early bird registration, you have that on right now. How much longer is that available to delegates?
That finishes on February the 9th. And as I mentioned earlier, we're already 50% sold. We usually get a big rush the week before early bird finishes. So I anticipate that not being any different from previous years. So for those who want to experience or benefit from a discounted rate, then the 9th of February is the day to make sure that you book by.
And the easiest way for someone to register for the conference?
The easiest way is to go on our website at safetyservicesns.ca, follow the Workplace Health and Safety Conference tab, and it will guide you through the process very easily from there.
Well, Craig, you have, I think, a dynamic conference lined up this year, a little bit of everything for all different kinds of health and safety professionals. Certainly already your attendance is looking good. You must be very pleased.
Yeah, we're very excited here at Safety Services, not only in Halifax, but throughout the provinces that support that. And New Brunswick is part of that journey. So I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you guys who support the development. And you may have heard this before. It takes a lot of people to build a conference and a lot of hours in the planning process. And this is no different. We've been working on this for a good 7 or 8 months already. And I think what we've put together is certainly a conference that people will enjoy, and it seems to get better and better every year. So if you think and feel as though you had an awesome time last year, then we're going to make sure that you have an even better time this year.
Well, look, Craig, thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us today. As you said, it takes a tremendous amount of time to put a conference together, to arrange for all the speakers, facilities, and all the other little details. So thank you for taking the time to join us, and we'll certainly look forward to seeing you in Halifax. For folks that listen to our podcast today, thank you very much for taking the time out to listen to us. We always appreciate your feedback, and you can always reach us at podcast@ssnb.ca. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.